faint sounds of subway trains, city ambience, a lighter flicks, someone beatboxing in the distance.
Hey yo, gather round, let me put y'all on. See, the game ain't just about paper, it's about legacy. You stacking bills or building empires. You reading signs or stuck reading headlines. It's time to elevate, knowledge reborn. Feel me? Shout out to Shy Bliss, Mama T. Hey yo, I came from the dirt where the lost ones lurk. Now I channel serious when I put in this work. From the street lights to the starlight, knowledge divine. Got the whole zodiac mapped out my mind. 777s when I shuffle, every move is a line. Had to break free, cut the chains on my mind. You see they trap us in illusions, keep the wisdom diluted. But I'm building like the Moors did, all black suited. Running numbers like Pythagoras, adding up digits. Turn a cipher to a temple, got the ancestors with us. This that Pharaoh flow, deep like the metronome. Boom, bap, quantum math, every bar set in stone. We was born in the fire, raised in the storm. But the knowledge stays sacred, the wisdom stays strong. Turn the pain into gold, let the lessons live on. We the lost now found, it's the knowledge reborn. We was born in the fire, raised in the storm. But the knowledge stays sacred, the wisdom stays strong. Turn the pain into gold, let the lessons live on. We the lost now found, it's the knowledge reborn.
All right. You know what it is. You know what time it is. Welcome to the Stella Maris Podcast. I am your hostess, Shy Bliss, aka Mama T. We in the building. Listen, tonight, if you ain't got your tea, hold on, let me grab my stuff right here. If you ain't got your tea, you ain't got your water on, honey, it's about to get piping hot up in here tonight. All right. So make sure, go grab your tea, your cousin them, your mama them, because we're going to go deep. We're going to go places we've never traveled before. We have two phenomenal guests lined up tonight. We have Sister Neoshi Green. How many of y'all are familiar with the sister and her work? Put a one in the chat. First of all, put a one in the chat if you can hear me before I get to running my mouth and you know no one hears a thing. So put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see me. All right. All ones in the building. So this particular show, I've been waiting on this for a while, y'all. And the reason is this can be ancestral. This can be otherworldly. This can be multidimensional. This can be an entanglement that you never thought you had. You know, some of us be having body aches and pains in certain parts of our bodies, and we'll go to the doctor and we're trying to find a reason or an explanation for these symptoms that we're having. And most Western doctors, they're not able to diagnose what's really going on with you. So they'll chalk it up to some sort of muscle tension or arthritis or some other type of disease they can make up to get you on that script. Now, some doctors, I believe, know exactly what's going on. And they are looking for certain symptoms that you may carry to put you on certain subscriptions to maybe stop certain communications with ancestral spirits that you have. But damn, at the same time, it may not even be an ancestral spirit. This can be something that you could have never imagined. This could be a total stranger. This can be a predatory spirit. This can be a divine guide. Whatever the case may be, we're going to find this thing out tonight. So without further ado, I'm not going to keep y'all too long with this. We're going to jump right in. I want to welcome to the Stella Maris Podcast my first guest, Neoshi Green. Welcome to the podcast, my sister. How are you doing today?
I am well. Thank you so much for that intro, and thank you for having me. I appreciate the invite.
Oh, sister, the honor is all mine. I've been watching you for a minute and watching pretty much when you are going through your hypnotherapy with your clients. But before I just jump in, first of all, people may not even know who you are. They may be like, who is this sister on here? So please introduce yourself to the audience. Give us a little background about who you are and what you do and when you got started.
Sure. So my name is Neoshi Green-Kebreau. I am a clinical and transpersonal hypnotherapist who specializes in spiritual hypnotherapy. I've been doing this work for over 7 years now. I love it. It's divine alignment.
Right.
When I got started, well, let me say this. This wasn't on my bingo card of life. I'll say that.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is not something that I would have ever thought that I'd be doing. That wasn't in my mind. Even when it was presented to me, I was still like it had never crossed my mind. So, I'm sorry, what question were you asking me about in terms of
So, like you said, you got started 7 years ago. So, what
uh
you said this wasn't even on your radar, pretty much. So,
mhm.
how did it get on your radar? How was it something that you've come across to say, "Yeah, I want to do this"?
So it's funny, people always ask me like, how'd you get into this work? And when I hear the question, I immediately go, well, how do I sum up the last 44 years of my life in 2 minutes? Because
Mm,
it literally was that type of journey. It wasn't something where like, oh, my mom was into this and she passed it down, or it runs in the family, or I was doing this since I was, like it wasn't that type of situation. Like I didn't get into this work until I was in my 30s, and about 36 to be exact, I believe I was. But prior to that, I was on a journey of self-healing, a journey of doing shadow work. Like I was doing shadow work before it was a popular thing, before I even knew it was termed shadow work. I was doing it
right, right,
from so many years of trauma, inner child wounds, and you name it. And I really was just walking the path to the point where spirit would put one nugget in front of me, like one step and then another step and another step. So it's kind of like it was a progressional thing.
right.
So the very first time let me say this. I've always known about hypnosis, but I was introduced to hypnosis. My very first time being introduced to hypnosis was like maybe in college or maybe high school, and then seeing it like the stage hypnosis, when they make you like bark like a dog, cluck like a chicken, stuff like that.
Right.
And I remember always looking at it like, these people lying,
Skeptical.
they faking.
The,
They ain't really, they
yeah.
ain't really, they paying them people to do that.
Right.
And so that was my introduction. I was very skeptical about it, but always was very intrigued about it. Like, I wonder how they do that.
Yeah.
Um, and even in college, I had a really great interest in psychology, but I was just like, I can't see myself like this stush psychologist. Like, so tell me,
Yeah.
what's
We,
in your mind?
honey,
Like I couldn't see myself in a traditional role of psychology. And
right.
so I loved it, but I just was like, okay, no, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. But I always knew that I was supposed to be doing something that would be in alignment with spirit, so to speak. Like I always knew that what I was here to do was something great, and I didn't know I didn't
Mm,
understand what that was, but I just had
right.
this knowing that I had an
Yeah.
important role. And so I pretty much my whole life had been searching for that. Even to one point, I remember I got 3 children now, but I had 2 children at the time, and they were really small. And I was homeschooling them. I had like a business that was great financially, but just wasn't what I was
Wasn't
called to do.
satisfying. Okay. Was it
Right. Like
satisfying? Were you pleased with it? Were you happy, or you just knew that this was the wrong
initially,
thing?
it was something, it was like I stumbled upon. It wasn't like I was trying to do it. That's a
Mm-hmm.
whole story behind that. I guess I'll tell that story. So I was initially, before that, I was working at a call center. I think it was AT&T or something like that. I don't remember. But it was a call center. And I remember I was in training and and going every day, and I'm sitting in training, and I keep hearing, you're not supposed to be here.
Mm,
And every day, every day, I would hear that you're not supposed to be there. I'm like, yeah, I know I ain't supposed to be here, but
But you there.
but I had a plan, right? See, my plan was
Oh, okay, okay. The plan
I
was
knew I knew I wasn't going to be working for someone else because of my past experiences working for other people. I just knew that this wasn't for me. So eventually I was going to branch out. I knew that whatever I was going to be doing, I was going to be doing in a capacity for myself.
mm,
And so I was like, all right, I need some management experience, you know. And so I was like, well, my cousin was telling me she was working at the call center, and she's like, yeah, they're looking for managers, da 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 da. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go apply for a management position. So she hooked me up with an interview. I go in, I get the job, but I didn't get the management position. They just offered me the call center, usual rep. So I was like, all
mm,
right, cool, whatever.
okay,
I'll work this job for a little bit. Maybe they'll offer me a management position so I can get some experience so I know what I'm doing when
right,
I'm running my own business. So I'm looking at it as like this is
yeah.
gonna be an internship. Like I'm investing money in myself, right? So um again, fast forward, here I am in training. You're not supposed to be here. I was like, I know that. But every day I would go, the voice would get louder and louder
mm,
and louder and louder till I could not ignore it anymore. On top of the fact that my husband at the same time is at home telling me, listen, both of us working ain't going, it's not working.
mm,
You stay, take care of the babies. I'll handle
mm,
the money side. I'll handle us financially. I got us. Just take
okay,
care of everything else.
right.
But I'm like, man, I've been working since I was 16. I'm used to having money and be able to pull for money when I need money to
Hmm.
do what I need to do. I'm
All the
grown. I want to
ladies,
out.
independent. I
But it
know
wasn't
that's
even about the independence. It was just about I wanted to be able to contribute financially to my
oh, I
family.
feel what you.
And
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
and I was used to being able to again financially do that. And
Mm,
it's yeah. So I struggled with him. He came to me maybe two or three times before that last time when I finally gave in that day at train at work. Again, that voice again. You're not supposed to be here. And I was
mm,
just like, oh my God. And so then I went home that night and my husband said the same thing, like, babe, this just come on, like just work with me here. And so he's like, why don't you holler at your homegirl, the one, because he knew that I kept saying, I just want to have a little pocket money. I don't want to just be asking you for money all the time. So if I want
mhm.
something, I can go get it. Or if the children want something, I can go get it. I don't have to ask you for it. I don't like having to ask. I'm grown. I don't feel like I got to ask somebody for something.
Right,
And
right.
so he was like, all right, so just holler at your homegirl, the one to sell you the weight loss pills. Because I was taking these weight loss pills and I lost a lot of weight. It was like crack, child. And everywhere I go, people be like, what are you taking? So he's like, just sell the little pills on the side and you have you some pocket money and I'll worry about everything else. So I'm like, so I finally get it. I was like, all right, fine. You know what I mean? All right, fine. So that's how the business started, where it wasn't something that I literally just bought a couple bottles and started selling them when people would ask. And then the product was so good that it's literally sold itself.
Mm.
And like, I think I lost like 30 pounds in like 6 weeks or 7 weeks or something like that. I don't remember.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
And so
That's
it
a
sold
rapid
itself
change.
for literally, when I'm telling the story, every time I tell the story, people, I get somebody email or DM me, what's the name of that product you said?
Well, you know what I'm saying? We do want to lose these little extra pounds.
But y'all can get it in the US though. It was a Chinese product that was importing. But anywho, um, so yeah, so it works so well. I say all that to say it works so well that it literally sold itself to the point where I had started taking payments on PayPal, and PayPal was like, "Listen, we need a business tax
Mm,
ID because this
right.
you just making you bringing in
We
too
need
much
some
money."
verification. Oh yeah,
Right.
they'll shut
So
your
I
ass
had
down.
yeah, I ended up I
Hmm.
said, okay, I'll incorporate and just started that. And that's how it started, just accidentally. Like I wasn't really trying, but I did enjoy helping other women do what I did,
Hmm.
because I know how it was to struggle. And so that part I enjoyed, like the kind of like the counseling aspects of it with them and encouragement. It was always that. And I've always been that type of person, so it was natural for me. And so that part I enjoyed, but the other aspects of it was just like, this isn't fulfilling. Yeah, it became literally a multi six-figure business. Like I was making multiple six figures, but I still was like, this is not it. I don't want to do this. This is not what I'm here for.
Wow.
And I let it all go. I dropped it all and just began focusing on, my children. I was still in a space where I was depressed a lot, going through a lot of things, even anxiety at one point, dealing with like just a lot of different areas of my life wasn't what I thought it would have been at that time in my life. And
Mm.
um that there was a lot of healing that still needed to happen. And I remember one particular day, um I was just I guess I was just it was I was just overwhelmed, and I went to my room and I closed the door and I got on my knees and I just started boo-hoo crying. Like I couldn't take it, and it was just like
That's a
I
purge.
felt like I was going through so much, and I was just like, but at the same time feeling like I know I'm supposed to be doing something, and I feel like
Mhm.
I haven't, I'm not, I know I'm not, I haven't done it. I know I haven't found it, but what is it? Just tell me, like, whatever it
Right,
is
right.
you want me to do, because the yearning within me was so deep to have
Mm.
that. And I didn't have it at that point in life where I thought I would have had it already. And so, yeah, I just snot nose boohoo crying. Just tell me what you want me to do. I call it my come to Jesus moment, because I literally was just like,
No, hey, we all have the moments, honey. We all have those moments.
yeah,
That's the threshold moment, right? That's
yeah,
when you're
yeah,
about to walk to the next level. And that's all we
absolutely,
know, right? So this is all we
absolutely,
know. So this is who we call. And but
right,
let me tell you, an ancestor told me that some of us, I think all of us, once we awaken, have the power to call on whichever entity we need to call on at that particular moment in time to get us wherever it is we need to go.
right,
So, but that's interesting. So tell me, after you went through that purge, you went through that moment, was that your
yeah.
awakening?
So yes, that was part of the awakening, and that was more so the how would describe it? Well, basically, okay. So what happened? Let me finish that story real quick.
Go
What
ahead, go
happened
ahead.
was I snot nose cried in the room, crying out, saying, "Just like tell me what you want me to do. Like whatever it is, I'll do it. What am I here to do? Like I need to know. I need guidance. I need help." And I'm sitting there, like I said, I'm on my knees and I'm crying, and all of a sudden, this is the first time I've ever heard a voice so clear, but it wasn't like in the room. It was just like it was
It's
almost like a
you.
telepathic voice,
Mm.
but very loud, if that makes sense. And I hear, "Don't worry, you're almost there. Keep going." And I'm
Oh,
just, and
wow.
immediately as I'm hearing that, I feel like the warmest hug.
Mm.
I've never still felt anything like that before. Like the warmest hug that you could get, the most it's hard to describe. And as I'm feeling that and I'm hearing the voice, and immediately the energy shifted from, stress and despair and, to bliss of happiness and, okay,
You got
all
an
right,
activation.
okay. And the tears are, I'm wiping up the tears, and I have the biggest smile on my face I had in years.
Wow.
And I just knew it was spirit. I call it spirit. Some people call it God. Whatever you want to
Whatever.
call it. We're talking
Right
about the
on.
same thing.
I say.
Um, and I knew it was spirit. And I was just like, okay. And then literally that's when the download started. It was like,
Mm.
okay, we need you to do this. I want you to focus on this. These are the areas of life that you're talking about. You're having issues in. We know, we see that, but this is what you need to do now, moving forward, in this area, in this area, in this area, in this area, right?
Clear.
And yeah,
Just clear as
clear,
day, huh? I say. Yes,
clear. But
ma'am. Hmm.
with clarity, there was always a choice too. It wasn't like it was like,
Mm.
if you want this, if you want to go this route, then this is what you need to
You
do.
have to do.
But if you stay on the route you're on, this is what's going to happen. So you need
Mm.
to make a decision. So it was just like, okay, all right, I know what I need to do. I'm up for, all right, I got it.
Right,
And
right.
literally, it took years for me to complete, so to speak, all of those things, but it wasn't like a checklist. It was just like literally, I was just like, okay, it's like I knew what I had to start with, and I knew what the next step was after that. So I was like,
Phases.
okay, I did that. Okay, now what's next? And then I would get another download. This
Mm.
now, we got to tackle this.
You were going
And
through an initiation, it sounds like.
child, it was you
Yeah,
have you ain't never lied. It damn sure
yeah,
was an initiation.
that's right.
And this was, like I said, years
Hmm.
before I even started this work. And
Yeah.
so I was
You
just
have to
like
get
focused, like,
prepared
okay,
for it.
I'm focusing on my children, and I'm just focused on homeschooling them, getting myself right, dealing with myself. I can't control nobody else, but I can control and work on myself and do what I need to do. So I'm gonna do what I need to do, and whoever's there when I'm on that journey, great. If they ain't, okay, oh well. And
Right.
I'm gonna deal with that, right?
Right.
And
That's right.
so, and that was in every area of life. So
That's right.
I did that. I just focused on doing that. And so I was walking that journey of just like healing different things within me. I mean, like I said, every area of life, love, finances, family, like you name it,
Hmm.
self-esteem, like everything, right?
That
And
12 steps.
yeah. And along that time, I remember the first time I remember like really like being like I'd seen, like I said, I'd seen hypnosis before, but I wasn't really familiar with the aspect of like the counseling or the psychology integration of that.
Hmm.
And so I remember being walking into a library one day because I was homeschooling my children, and we would go to the same library every day to do some work, just do different stuff. And as I'm walking into the library that morning, excuse me, there's a book um in the aisle that I'm walking on. There's a book like sticking out on the shelf like this. And, they're supposed to be up like this, but it's like this.
Peekaboo.
Right. So I'm
I'm right.
walking, I'm walking in the aisle because this is the path I always take.
Hmm.
And as I'm walking, Spirit says, flip the book up. And so I'm like, okay, I'm thinking it's just me being a mom. Oh, you so used to keeping things tidy and whatever. So I walk and I flip the book up. And then as I flip it up, Spirit says, read the title. I read the title, and it's Many Lives, Many Masters.
Mm.
And so I'm like, so I'll pull the book down, and I'm looking at the entire title of it, and I'm like, wow, this is interesting. So I take the book and I literally read that book in one day. I take it home and read it one day.
Mm.
And then I go back, I'm like, oh my, this is amazing. And I go back and I'm looking for other books on the topic as well. Fast forward maybe a couple months later, I come across a YouTube video of someone doing similar sessions to what I see in the book. And I'm just like, this is interesting. So I'm like, okay. And
Synchronicity starts lining up.
I just start watching the videos. And literally, I was so obsessed with the videos to the point where I would be watching the video morning, noon, and night. Like I'm
Mm.
making breakfast, I'm watching a video. I'm making lunch, I'm watching a video. I'm cooking dinner, I'm watching a video. Even my husband, I got my husband into watching the videos with me, and I'd be like, "Look, babe, you see this?" He'd be like, "No, I didn't see that one yet." Um, and one day, I'm at my in-laws' house in the kitchen making dinner, watching the video, and my husband turns to me and is like, "Babe, you'd be really good at this." And I was like, he's like, you should learn how to do this. And I'm like, at that moment, it was like, it never even occurred to
Wow.
me. And I had maybe been watching these videos for at least a year at that point, at least,
Really?
at least. And it had never occurred to me. And, but when he said it, I was intrigued, like, that would be awesome. And,
The light bulb went
yes.
off, huh?
And, but immediately I said, yeah, nah,
The
I can't do
doubt.
that.
Hey, here goes the
I
doubt.
can't. What it was I was like, nah, my parents will disown me.
What? That's
My
what you
parents gonna
thought?
disown me because, growing up in a traditional Christian household,
So
you
let me
don't.
ask you, during that time, were you still
No, I wasn't in a church. No,
no? Okay.
I was not. My mom was aware of that. My parents were aware of that I was on a different path spiritually, but because of how close I am to my parents and how much love I have for them, I was just afraid. I was like, they're gonna disown me. Like I literally
Mm,
feared that. Like I'm not bullshitting you.
that's
Like I really thought they
interesting.
was gonna disown me, and I was afraid. I was terrified. And because it's like you just don't deal with that stuff. That's demonic. That's what they think.
So
That's what
they,
we've been
right.
taught. Right.
Mhm.
So I I I remember feeling like and immediately saying to myself, I can't do that. My parents gonna disown me. But I laid down that night and I was in a space between sleep and wake where you
Mm.
and in that space I get spirit talks to me a lot. And I'm in this space and this thing is on my mind heavily. And then spirit comes and is like, listen, you've been asking us to show you what you're here for, what your purpose is, what work you're supposed to be doing. We're guiding you to this work, and now you're afraid to do it because you're afraid of what somebody else is going to think. You
Hmm.
cannot live for other people.
I
You have to
say,
live life for yourself. And literally it felt like,
being
like
scolded.
yeah, like I'm being scolded. And I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. Like, yeah,
Like we
okay,
done
okay,
showed
okay.
you videos for a
Mm,
whole year.
right.
You cooking
You,
and watching and cooking every waking moment, and
you
now
didn't,
you questioning it.
yeah, exactly. You didn't get the hint when we kept showing you these videos and whatnot. So your husband,
Right,
we had to send your husband in to
right.
tell
Send
you.
him in there.
And now you tripping. So I was like, okay, you know what? You're right. You're right. I cannot live for someone else. And if they disown, and Spirit was like, if they disown you, okay, fine.
Next,
You'll
right.
be fine. You will get over it.
And they will too.
Right, right.
Hmm.
It's like, but you cannot live for someone else. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? You're right. I can't. And I'm going to do this. And I haven't looked back since. And the funny thing
Awesome.
is, people like to ask, well, how did your parents react? Yeah, they definitely was like, girl, don't okay, but just be
No,
careful with them spirits, child.
you
You
better
don't want
wear
them
that
spirits
cross.
hopping on you and all this
Yeah.
stuff and da 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 da. So they were supportive, and I was surprised, like, oh God, thank you. But they literally
Because
went from it went from me saying, hey, can I practice on y'all? I need to practice, and then be like, nah, child, you ain't getting in my head.
hell
You ain't getting in
no.
my mind.
Look, that what?
Nah, it went from that to
uh
my dad years later saying, I think I'm ready for a session.
oh, see,
And my dad
always.
literally did a session, I think about like 2 years ago. We did a session.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
And it
how
was
did that
amazing.
go? Wow.
It was amazing. I'll say
Well, hold on,
this.
hold on, hold on. Okay, go say that because I got now you open up Pandora's box. So we about to get it in. But go ahead, just finish on what you were
I
saying.
can't go into details because he's a
I
private guy.
understand. I
But
understand.
what I will say is you can find his session, a good part of his session in my book.
Okay.
And that's all I'll
All right.
say.
So was he like one of your first clients or
No, no,
because
no, no.
what I wanted to ask you, because I wanted to go back a little bit, something that you said you were very skeptical. And then you started watching, the shows. I guess that changed your perception or your mindset about what it was you were skeptical about.
Mhm.
Now, let's fast forward a little bit to your first client. What was that like?
Child, I wish I could remember my first client. Who the fuck was
You
my
have
first client?
that wasn't a
Okay.
pivotal moment for you, like when you like somebody stepped in, because you know what you remind me of a little bit. I know you heard of Dolores Cannon, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. So when she had, I used to watch her a lot, and but she would talk to these different beings that came in, and they were communicating through other people.
Hmm.
Yours is a little different. Like you communicate with these spirits that either they're invasive, they're bullies, or they're guides, right? And I found that fascinating. So, but go ahead and or which I wanted to ask you really, what session really took you back? Like, wow, there's something else going on here.
You
Or
mean
were
when I
they
first, what do you mean?
like when you first started doing hypnotherapy?
Okay.
Were they all the same? Was it like routine, or did something happen that make you go, "Wow, this
Um,
is bigger than what I thought"?
there isn't one in particular because all the sessions are so different, but they're all
Mm,
so powerful, right? In their own way. And that's why a lot of times I tell my clients, like, when they're coming for a session. Like, I'm like, just forget everything you've seen. And if you watch my videos, forget it. Like, this is your session is not going to be like that. It's going to be unique for you. It's going to be what you need. So don't expect what you've seen happen in some other videos to happen in a session, because you're going to set yourself up for failure.
Mm.
And because a lot of times people will go in expecting, oh, I think this is gonna happen, and it doesn't. They're like, oh, like what kind of life was that? Like, oh, I didn't expect. I was this poor hobbit on the street who got spat on every day. What kind of shit is that? I thought I was gonna be like the queen, or but
Oh.
I'm like, even those, even
Yeah.
those people who have, like, lives is clean, it's filled with, anguish and pain and trauma.
Mm.
So, but not even just the past lives. We go through a lot of, like, inner healing. Like, there's a lot of personal, and I know a lot of people, they watch my videos, and the only part that you really see on my channel are the past life regression parts,
Mm-hmm.
or the spirit releasement, spirit attachments, and sometimes maybe spirit guides, but there's a lot more that you don't see that we're doing, and which